Hi, welcome back to TFT, Truth Fairy Tidbits, where I attempt to spoon feed you little bits of information that you normally wouldn't look at and try to crack open your little programmed brains with information that helped me to crack open my little programmed brain several years ago. Today's going to be a little quick tangent instead of picking up where we left off in our reading. So we're going to skip reading for today because I just feel the need to vent for a second. So bear with me. And I did actually made some notes so that I stay on track and I don't go wandering off like I tend to do sometimes. So bear with me while I have to keep checking my notes to keep my brain going the right way. So today's just going to be a quick little tangent that I just have to get out of my head. So here we go. The point of me doing this and trying to get you to understand that government is illegitimate from the very core, from its base. So you can think that it's necessary, that our system works just fine, like the status quo is okay, not all politicians are evil, big deal. The reason that you need to understand that it's illegitimate from the beginning is because the status quo is being destroyed quickly, and it's on purpose, okay? And what's coming is not going to be the system of, just picking a different evil every few years and worrying about, gas prices and taxes and bullshit. Like, all of that is the staged sideshow to keep you thinking that this is a system that's workable and all of that. So that being said, the agenda is rapidly being pushed forward, and it ends with all of us having zero freedom, none whatsoever. Okay. So like I said, the sideshow is to keep you from seeing what's coming and being able to resist it. Okay. So before I'll get later into the agenda and all of that, but this is why I need you to start from the bottom and realize that government shouldn't exist in the first place. And then when we get to explaining the agenda, you'll be ready to understand that. Okay. So wanted to get that out as part of what I'm doing here, why I'm starting at the basis of not getting into like whether or not government does anything good or which puppet is in there doing this, that, or the other, or, saving you some taxes over here, gas prices, food prices, whatever the fuck. None of that really matters when you understand that none of it should be existing at all. And it's all a sideshow to keep you from seeing the bigger picture. Okay. The other quick sidetrack on the current puppet in chief. It really doesn't matter who's in that position because every single one of them are completely owned and controlled by the same entities that are trying to bring about the agenda, okay? All of them are used for the same purpose, okay? I know if you're new to this, you don't believe that right now. You still think there's sides. You still think that, there's people with good intentions are just, they're going to get in there and change things. It doesn't really matter who it is, but this particular psychopath that's in there right now, I just have to make a quick point here. Regardless if you think he's doing anything good, which he isn't, you can try to argue whatever nonsense he's done or hasn't done or made better or worse, whatever. It really doesn't matter. I mean, the fact some of you actually think he's basically Jesus, which is, fuck's sake, that's just sad. But anyway, in regard to this current psycho in chief, the elephant in the room that should overshadow anything that you believe he might be doing that's, worth cheering for is obviously the Epstein saga, okay? There's already plenty of evidence that he is a sick fuck, that he has sexually assaulted many women over decades. The evidence that has come out of the half of the files that have been released or whatever, just the fraction of what has been shared. I mean, it's pretty clear this guy is a sick fuck, all right? So that's the elephant in the room that should overshadow everything that's going on with what he might be doing. And I'm going to pose this question because I have asked it on several people's posts online and things that are still, trying to justify Trump for every single thing that he does, and worshiping him is disgusting. But here's my question for you, okay? If you are cheering for a red team right now, and Trumpo in particular, there's only two options here when it comes to the files, all right? Only two options. So I want you to tell me, any of you that still support this person, which of these options it is that you're behind here, because there's only two. Okay, so here we go. Number one, Donald is either he's 100% involved with and participating in the global satanic pedophile cult. 100% involved with it, participating in it, which is the more likely considering the evidence that has come out. That's the more likely option. So that's option number one. Or option number two, he's not participating or involved in it, but he doesn't think the fact that there is a global satanic pedophile cult is important. He literally said that the Epstein files are boring and that he has more important things to do. Okay? Those are your options. So, red team, which one are you cheering for? Because that's, by the way, either one of those options means that he is covering for and protecting sick, evil people that rape and murder little kids. He's either participating in it or he's just protecting and covering up for those people that are doing it. So which one of those makes you want to cheer for him? And by the way, the fact that either of those options you still are cheering for him, that means you don't care that little kids are being raped and murdered and eaten, okay? And you're still trying to support and justify this piece of shit that's in office. That makes you an evil, disgusting piece of shit, okay? And you deserve to get kicked in the fucking teeth. So, I will await anybody who wants to try to justify that. Those are your only options. All right? Now, we can go ahead and talk about politics and, what Trump has done for the economy or not. He hasn't done a fucking thing anyways, but you cannot continue to try to justify anything or cheer for him or support anything that he does and spin whatever this war is into his fucking 25D chess or whatever bullshit at this point, because you have to begin by admitting that you don't care that little kids are being raped and murdered. Now, if any of you wants to step up and say, yeah, I don't care, that's fine. Go ahead and rape little kids as long as you do whatever the fuck he claims that he's doing. Anybody want to admit that? I mean, I guess I would give you props for actually fucking admitting it, but you're not going to, because nobody has yet answered that question for me. Okay. So anyways, let me go back to my notes before I keep going on my rant here. The puppets in charge that get selected for this whatever position. It doesn't matter to the big picture who they put in that spot. All right, elections they're selections. They're pre-picked people. Here's the two that you get to choose from who were chosen already by the people up here who are pushing the agenda forward. And it doesn't matter which one you choose because they are going to push the agenda forward. Okay, they're controlled. The whole shit show that is government is primarily just sick and evil to the very core. Anyway. So, getting back to why I'm trying to explain at the base level why government is bullshit to begin with. So maybe your brain cells can start to open up a little bit. and you'll have a little bit better understanding. So when we progress and we get into what the bigger picture is and what the agenda is and stuff, that you'll be ready to comprehend it and understand. And at that point, hopefully, the reason for doing this, enough people will see it and it won't actually end up becoming our reality, because it's not good. When I mean zero freedom, I mean zero. Absolutely nothing. You will own nothing and be happy, as the quote goes from the WEF, who just pushes the agenda forward, and they're not voted for. None of the entities that push the agenda are voted for. Non-government organizations, NGOs, they're not voted for. They're the ones that make the policies that get pushed forward. Everything comes from outside your little stupid government that you think is your vote has anything to do with. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. I'm not going to read today. We'll get back into that tomorrow. I just had to get that out there, why I'm doing this, and make this point about this particular sick fuck that happens to be the puppet in chief right now. He's not in charge of anything. He does what he's told, just like everybody else that is in government. You do what you're told, or you get kicked out. You want to keep your job, you want to make money, maintain your power, all of that. You go along with the agenda, or they kick you out. That's how it works. Voting means absolutely nothing. Okay, so that's all. And yeah, I'll wait if anybody wants to try to justify how you can support pedophilia and child murder and eating babies and all the lovely things that have come out of just the very small part of these supposed Epstein files. I look forward to hearing somebody justify that. Good luck. Remember, do not comply. Bye.